What? Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I thought I would never make a video about. I have talked about it in live streams and talk about it in a video from time to time if there's a reason to bring it up. But, you know, sometimes someone says something that really irritates you and you feel like you have to respond in whatever way possible. And that's what happened today, or since yesterday for me to make this video. So, Mark Guggenheim, who early on in the Arrow days was running the show, making all those big decisions, who is now currently putting everything together for Crisis on Infinite Earths, he's the one who put that all together. He was answering fan questions yesterday on Twitter as I'm uploading this video, and it was brought up about Earth 1 Laurel and her dying off in Season 4. And a fan asked this question: do you think it was a mistake killing her off in Season 4? He responded, no, I love Earth 2 Laurel. Okay, so his first part, just saying, no, it wasn't a mistake. In my personal opinion, yeah, it was. Now, his second part, I love Earth 2 Laurel. I do too. Don't get me wrong. I like the redemption arc. I like how they introduced her in The Flash and everything and then brought her over. Awesome, okay? I like the redemption arc. I like where they're taking that version of Laurel. But it wasn't a mistake killing Earth 1 Laurel? And you're wondering, why would he say that? Well, it continues. So another person responded to his tweet saying, no, I love Earth 2 Laurel, saying, so you didn't like Earth 1 Laurel? Just blatantly saying, so you didn't even like that version of the character, so that's why you killed her off? He goes, no, her story was just done. What? Her story was just done? Are you shitting me? She hasn't been the Black Canary for that long. Her story's just done. It's over. There's nothing else you could do with the character. Read a fucking comic book. There's so much material. There's so many things they have not covered. Let alone the fact that Oliver and Laurel are not together, which is something they should have done, but whatever. I don't understand this logic. And a lot of people responded to this saying basically the same thing. To him saying, no, her story was just done. Saying, well, you're clearly a lazy writer. You clearly didn't care about the character. You just wanted to write her off. You didn't care. You tailored to a certain fan base, blah, 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 blah. And I have to agree to some extent. Because let's be honest, guys. They rushed the Black Canary storyline. They gave Laurel some really questionable things to do in the show. Like, why is she doing this? Like, because to us, Laurel Lance should have been handled so much better. She's the Black Canary. And you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball! It still irritates me. Because I feel like the death of Laurel was, of course, a huge mistake. One of the biggest mistakes ever made in the Arrowverse to kill her off instead of someone else. Which, my thing is this. If you wanted to teach Quentin Lance a lesson for portraying Damien Dark, which, let's not get into whole things about Season 4, because a lot of questionable things made in that season. A lot of questionable decisions. Quentin Lance should have died instead of Laurel, because that would have pushed Laurel to even be better, to be better, and to really dedicate to being the Black Canary. Because they were setting up to where, if I remember correctly, she wasn't going to be the Black Canary anymore. Like, it was one last time, and then she dies there. Man. You know, I shouldn't be surprised, because when you look back on Season 4 of Arrow, mistake after mistake after mistake just kept piling up. It's one of the worst things to ever happen in the Arrowverse is the entirety of Season 4 of Arrow. It's just horrible. And this is just the icing on the cake, essentially. I cannot believe the response to that. Her story was just done. What are you talking about? What do you mean her story was just done? I don't understand that logic. Okay? And the whole idea of her not having her canary cry is ridiculous. They could have easily fixed that, because they did a version of that with Dinah, with the particle accelerator exploding. She was around, she's screaming, and then boom, canary cry. How come Laurel couldn't have just been in Central City when the particle accelerator exploded? For some reason, she's just there. They could have easily wrote an easy way for her to be there, and then it explodes, and then she gets her canary cry. Boom! You fixed it. But no. You couldn't even give her that. I feel bad. I feel bad for that version of Laurel, because she got the shit end of the stick. some people were responding because I said that I was going to be doing this video saying it's over. It's done. Okay, that was years ago. Move on. I will not move on because for me, it is a horrible decision that was made that just makes no sense to me. Okay, of course, she had a lot of storylines. She was there at the very beginning of the show, and we had 4 seasons of her, almost 4 complete seasons of her. But that doesn't change the fact, the idea of her story was just done. There's nothing we can do. But then you bring back another version of Laurel pretty damn quick. So I don't understand that logic of, well, her story is just done, so we're just going to bring another Laurel in. Like, So, look, Earth 2 Laurel, I like her, like I said earlier. But I just feel like this whole idea of, well, Earth 1 Laurel's story is done, it's over with, but we're going to bring in another Laurel. I don't understand that. I remember making a video about how they were bringing Earth 2 Laurel as a series regular for Season 6 of Arrow, and I made a video about it. And I was so happy, because I'm like, they have another Laurel, thank God. Because I'm like, they're going to do a redemption arc, and they did, but it took forever, but we still got it. But it's like, it still irked me, the fact that I'm sitting there watching a show about the Green fucking Arrow, and Laurel Lance, Dinah Laurel Lance in a sense, Black Canary is in the show. She doesn't have a canary cry. She's not with Oliver Queen. They dated at some point, but nah, they're not going to be together. Blah. And then you just kill her. Because you wanted Quentin Lance to be taught a lesson by Damien Dark, when Damien Dark could have easily just killed Quentin himself. Just kill Quentin. But no, you had to kill Laurel. There's even other possibilities of what they could have done. But no, they didn't do that. One more thing I want to read before we wrap up this video. Gail tweeted out back in 2012, "Dear Arrow, don't screw up Dinah Lance." Mark Guggenheim responded to this tweet. "We won't. We promise." Oh my God. And then where I saw this image, or where I saw these this tweet from, there's also a picture beside it. It says 4 years later, and then you see Laurel's dead body. So clearly, this whole, we will not screw up the character. Sure. So, this video probably is coming across as, I hate Mark Guggenheim. He's made some good decisions, but he has made some horrible decisions too. Okay, that cannot be ignored. I can't believe the thinking behind, there's no stories to tell with Laurel Lance. You have years upon years, decades of material in the comic books to pull from. You don't have to copy and paste, but you can adapt and change some things. And the fact that you didn't do that, it shows, okay? Yes, Season 5 of Arrow was amazing. Doesn't change the fact that Laurel dying in Season 4, you can't just ignore that. No. So, yeah, you dropped the ball, majorly. And I'm glad that Katie Cassidy's still around, playing Earth 2 Laurel, and the fact that she may be a part of that spinoff show if it gets picked up. But at the same time, she was horribly written at times during Earth 1 Laurel. There was so much they could have done. They could have really made an impact with her version of the character. And it did, because when she died, everyone freaked out, including myself. But you could have easily made it to where she made an impact because she's alive, because she's actually the Black Canary. With her canary cry, she's actually doing what she's supposed to be doing. But instead, you take it into a completely different direction, and you drop the ball. And now you're trying to make it up with Earth 2 Laurel. It's pretty messed up. Because they could have easily still introduced a evil version of Laurel when Earth 1 Laurel's still alive. They still could have done that concept. So, yeah, that's really it. I'm just tired of this idea that this was a good idea, and then I'm doubling down on my decision because it was a bad decision, in my personal opinion. What do you guys think about all this? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, what you think about all this, and curious to know what you think. So, talk to you guys soon. Peace out.